Second month, I was sick out of my mind, malaria fever, typhoid, everything. When I went to the hospital, and then the doctor was like, "Do you think I'm pregnant?" I was like, "I'm not pregnant." She said, "Do you know?" I said, "I'm not pregnant." She said, "You have to call your mom." I said, "Go ahead, call, but do all the checks that you want to do."
Let's be honest, proper care takes time and it also costs money. I think in our previous episode I expressed how I have a budget for menstrual care, which is crazy, but it's true. And it makes me wonder what people with zero access to products and people that do not have money to afford these products, how they survive. Welcome to my period Chronicles, everyone, where we're sharing experiences, chronicles from all over the world of women. And we are destigmatizing and sensitizing the public about menstrual health. So today, I am your humble host as usual, Bijomi Adedre, and I have with me my co-host.
You will not introduce me.
Sorry, the amazing, the energetic, the fine, sexy Tutu.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have amazing women in with us, as you can see. And we have Aisha and Pamela. Aisha is a communication strategist. So I'm just going to let her do her introduction after Pamela. So you introduce Pamela now.
Definitely.
So, Aisha, introduce yourself.
Okay guys, so my name is Aisha and I work for an outsourcing company here in Abuja. We just outsource manpower to people in the States, customer representative services, and that's basically it.
Amazing, nice. And we have your Pamela. Pamela is a content writer, a spoken word artist. She is also an SGBV advocate, looking forward to the time where women actually have equal rights. Is there something else you'd like to add?
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about costs. How much do you spend a month?
Well,
In which goes, have you like, intentionally calculated what you spend?
If I have to do that, it's if I can predict my period flow.
Okay.
Because sometimes, actually, when I started my period, I think I was 11 years old, and I've always had a very, very heavy flow. Like when I initially started, my mom thought that something was wrong. She was even worried. She wanted to go and see doctors and stuff like that. My dad was like, no, we didn't go at the end of the day. My dad said, she should calm down. Let's see how it goes. And then she spoke to a few people, and they were like,
Sometimes.
it's normal for some people to have such heavy flow. So sometimes when my period starts, in a day I can use maybe 4 or 5 pads. And in a pack, I have 7. So if I use 5 I have to use maybe 2 or 3 pads for 1 month. So it depends on how the flow is for the month. And there are some months that I'll be so lucky, which is once in a year, I'll be so lucky that I'll have very, very light flow. I can use 2 pads a day, 3 pads a day. But usually the standard is
That doesn't sound like light flow.
That's my light flow.
I get.
Yes. So if I have to estimate how much I use, it just depends on how.
I get.
So sometimes I have to keep 3 packs
Mm-hmm.
of pad before my period starts.
Definitely.
So maybe like a rough estimate. Okay.
Let's say around 2,500.
That's
just
you're
like
calculating only
50,000.
pads. We're talking
What about
the whole
other
period,
things?
all the things
Oh,
that you need.
Okay, including drugs because
Yeah.
of cramps,
Mhm.
including the cravings and every other thing.
Very,
Very important. No, I don't like sugar. I usually don't take sugar, but during my period, I can just want to drink Zobo Light, very sweet. I like water to go. So I want it to be very sweet. I want sugar. I want everything
Is
inside.
that why during our get together you were so
Yes.
adamant,
I
like,
was
when is
particular.
this?
I
Oh
was
my
particular
God.
when Miss Babe just said there's Zobo. I was like, oh, heaven. I must be there. That was around my period.
Yes,
because
I saw everything go down.
Yes, because it was really like that month especially, it was bad. Like the craving was bad. I would watch shawarma and I've not finished shawarma. I'm thinking of something to do with pepper soup. I want something hot, I want something cold. Like I'm not even sure of my body. So like you want to calculate the money that I'll spend on cravings, on the pad, on drugs, on every other thing.
Hygiene stuff as well. Stuff like you may need to. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe let's put that at least 10,000 naira for just period.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's just I was even thinking you said 20k.
No, that's
Because by the time you have done,
At least that's like the
maybe
lowest amount. Yeah.
if I try to close my eyes onto all the cravings, so I say, this one should just go, this one should just go, and I
right,
just
let's not spend
pick
too much.
small ahead, at least 10,000 naira.
Aisha, tell us about your crazy experience.
Okay, so my crazy period story. So I had this 2 months where my period disappeared like completely, and for somebody who is not sexually active, I should not be worried, but I was worried. So the first month, I was happy. No period, don't have to buy pads, no pain, no anything. The second month, I was sick out of my mind, malaria, fever, typhoid, everything.
Wow.
And I went to the hospital, and then the doctor was like, do you think you might be pregnant? I was like, I'm not pregnant. She said, do you know? I said, I am not pregnant. She said, you have to call your mom. I said, go ahead, call, but do all the checks that you want to do. And then at the end of the day, they found out that my hormones were imbalanced and I was going through a lot of stress at that period of time. And I did not know that it could actually affect my period coming up. So after spending like 2 months, I decided to come back home. And then the day I decided to come home, my period came. I came home. So I don't know. Maybe it had to do with my mind and the whole stress that I was facing, but apparently it came. So in that 2 months, the first month, I was really happy, free, no period. Because I mean, it's really, really uncomfortable having to wear pads for like a week. Yes. And then having to always, okay, so I'm not one to do my laundry in school, but once you see me washing, you know, okay, she's on her period. I don't do my laundry, but once you see me washing, everything I wear for that particular week, I have to wash it immediately. I remove it because there's this thing. I'm conscious about hygiene, but when I'm on my period, it is like an obsession. It's like OCD. Yeah. So that's basically it. Spending money. My period. If I want to be honest, every time I have my period, I must always be sick in the beginning. Maybe the first week, is that I have a sore throat or I have malaria or something. So I might be treating malaria when it's just my period that is on the way. And then when the period comes, I have to buy ibuprofen, diclofenac, or there's this drug. It's called anisole. They have to inject it because sometimes the pain is like super intense that ibuprofen does nothing. Or my mom has to inject me in my thighs with injection. But over the years, began to reduce. Every month you don't know what you're expecting. You can be coming with something new. Today you might be sick, tomorrow you might be free, and you're like, am I really on my period? So yeah, it's really crazy.
This is the thing that the girl was saying about everything that periods have their personality. They're like human beings, just come and then they have to do what I want to do, what I have to do.
The part that is always surprising me is you feel like you're done. Maybe you have 5 days and you're done with the 5 days. You're like, oh okay, glory be to God, I'm done. And you decide to go free that day. Maybe you wear light color jeans. Reach outside. I'm still here.
And there was a period when it was 5 days and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm really growing out of this thing. I think it lasted for like 4 months. After a while, I made that mistake and I thought I was done on the 5th day. You know what happened? The first day kind of experience happened on the 5th day. The pain and everything. Like I'm like, how can this be happening on and it went on like that for like the next 5 weeks. So now I've just made up my mind that see, whether you show or do not show on the 5th day, I'm still ready. I am still going to be ready for you, that kind of thing. But let's talk about period poverty. Let's talk about people who cannot actually afford this product. I want to vent.
So I'm going to tell you something that is very gross and boring. You're talking about period poverty. And let's have this aunt when I was like really little, they were like uni, secondary school at the time. And the ones that were in boarding school said that there were people because of poverty, I would say they didn't have money So when they were on their periods, they go to the refuse, pick other people's pads,
No.
wash them.
No. That
I'm
doesn't
sorry.
happen.
I'm sorry that you are cringing. At that time, I didn't understand what it was until like I got older and I thought about it. And I actually saw someone one time. I was passing by some refuse store, and I saw somebody actually picking out pads. Like she would open and check, and she was looking at the ones. I think she was looking for the ones that were not too full. So it's actually a thing where people go and pick out pads and wash them and dry them and use them because they can't afford these pads.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me.
No.
I'm serious.
The whole idea of rewashing a pad.
I don't know.
I can understand clothes. They call it pieces.
Yeah.
But a used pad.
Now you're looking at it from your perspective because we are privileged to have this information and all these things. These people just know that. I mean, you have what's it called? People wear pads, and you know they are listening for their period. They're okay for their period, so I can't afford it. But first time I showed the video, I was like, let me watch it and use it. It blew my mind. But like when she was saying, I'm like just happy because you know how they try to make wholesale gist sweet and all of that now. But then until I saw people actively picking pads out of the refuse, I didn't think
They use it.
And
And that was years ago, right?
with diapers. I mean, so if they can do with diapers, what's the difference?
And now products are really expensive now. So which is part of the reason why I said I'm like that. Like, can manufacturers of this product partner with CSOs and NGOs, you know, that are into this whole period poverty thing to provide for students, for example? It's not like they're working.
Yes.
Okay, and they have to buy these things.
Yeah.
Okay, can we make it free to this kids? Is it possible that pads be made free? Can it happen in Nigeria?
Yeah, there was a movement one time on Twitter where people were saying pads should be free because I didn't ask for this period, right? I just wake up and I'm sleep lost. I cannot come for myself there. So
no, don't come this
do you
month.
understand? So it's almost like the same way you make education free for some people. You should make pads free for this because it's going to happen. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. So my parents are not going to say, oh, I think say your papa don't get money, so I will not come and visit you. It's going to come.
See, it happens. It just so happens that you know I'm crazy about this, and it's really sad to hear that girls have sex to get products. Okay, that happens already. Cross-generational sexual relationship happens, you know, in exchange for materiality. But to take care of yourself while you're bleeding, girls actually have sex. It's really crazy. I think I saved a few things that I wanted to bring to our attention here. How the cost of menstrual products is actually a serious thing, and the safety of women as well. Some studies from Kenya find that schoolgirls engage in transactional sex to pay for products, particularly for the younger, uneducated, economically dependent girl. So I can understand that we are working, although sometimes the salary is not, but we can find our way around these things.
Yeah.
How much more a young girl who maybe her father is a farmer, staying in a rural place, the mother doesn't do anything, how does she cope? I do not want to imagine. I don't know what I would. I know myself. You know how many times I go to change. Okay,
like
and
people wear pads the
entire day, 2 days, 3 days. That happens.
And then the standard is at least 4 to 8 hours because you get like a bacterial infection and all.
First of all, I already it's really uncomfortable, not to talk of you using it for more than a day. That kind of discomfort.
So imagine, so you can't even go up to talk about menstrual cups or tampons which are seemingly more comfortable. For me, I prefer tampons to be honest. If you hate underwear, tampons are your go-to. But then you can't wear a tampon for a long time. After like 3 hours, 4 hours, you have to change. So in a day, you can use up to like 4 to 6 tampons. And tampons are really expensive, honestly. If I'm being honest, they're not even cost effective. I think like the cheapest tampons are around like 2,000 naira, and you run through a pack in like a week. So you can't even talk of comfort in this situation. Comfort is not what's even on their minds. Just how do I get by this week? How do I get by this period? Honestly, I don't know what can be done. If we want to say we advocate, we have plenty things to advocate for, because I feel like period care for people should be free, honestly. If not for anything, maybe just
Pads, yeah.
just
Just pads
pads.
itself, yeah. Okay, let's put cravings
free.
aside and maybe the
Oh,
drugs here for the pantry. But
Although I've heard of this pad banks that people put up, I know some of these states share one city together. She put up a pad bank in one village, I think in Delhi. But I think the issue she was having was even people who could afford it were now going to the pad bank. So when she set it up for people who could not, but people who could afford it were now going to take pads, and she was not really getting support from other people to like, so she was basically using her money to finance the ad bank, and people were not helping. The people in the area, those that could afford, were still going to take. So it was just so much on her that she had to stop.
I'm just going to use this opportunity to express the fact that grassroots organizations that need support.
Yes.
Now, I'm pretty sure she probably runs some non-profit, and she's having to use her money to fund the pad bank. I don't think it will cost a lot, say 100,000 naira, to actually get the pad bank up and running, and then it's more collaboration and partnership with other people. But we find that these days a lot of people don't want to partner, a lot of non-profits don't want to partner, and we are the ones. Nigeria is not far from it. Nasarawa is not far from it. We see these things day to day. We are seeing girls leaving schools because, first of all, paying school fees is a problem. We're enough, we know these things. And then having to pay for their products. They would rather not take you to school. Go and marry one allergy, right? So I'm calling, for partnerships. Let's put our efforts together, our resources together, and settle this. I don't care who takes the glory. The Afri challenge, when I'm reaching out to people, I always tell them, just use the resources. We've done it. We have the animation, we have the comic, we even have the templates, the presentation. Take it and use it and say that your organization did it. We don't care. As long as kids are being sensitized, honestly speaking. So this period poverty thing is a serious, like I'm constantly thinking, going back to the drawing board, on how I can do something. Even if it's just, I believe in development, one community at a time. I'm not going to stress myself and say I want to impact 1 million girls in Nigeria. No, I cannot do that. My non-profit cannot do that at this point. But my neighbors, let me go to one basic school or a government school and know that, okay, if we have 300 girls here, we can provide pads for the next 1 year. Right?
Yeah.
We should be able to do that. We should be able to put together our resources. I don't know. We need to call for.
I was going to say, during this year, it's not as much as we like to talk as podcasters. This is actually more powerful than we think, because a lot of people don't see periods as an issue, and that's why if you ask for maybe a scholarship fund, you're more likely to get scholarship fund than a period fund, because they're like, you use your degree in the long run, so you need to go to school. But they don't realize that for students, for example, going to school, I need to be in my right frame of mind to go to school. They don't see periods as a problem, and like I said, it's because of how it's been masked over the years. So if we could speak up and make people realize that this thing is actually a problem, if we solve this issue, say the pad issue now, for example, every girl can come to school without being afraid that she'll be staying, or she doesn't have to stay at home because she cannot afford, or she doesn't have infections, or she's not smelly because of recycling and all of that. I feel like we're solving a big problem, but people don't realize. That's why stuff like that pad bank don't get funded. It doesn't period, like.
And sometimes even when perhaps she's already reaching out to people and she's not just getting the responses she needs to get. How about, because I think I've heard of an organization that actually trains girls on how to make usable pads. I think that's another approach that's sustainable. But then you need products to make the sustainable pads, right? Okay, so that's also a problem.
We still have to buy.
period funds.
Yeah,
That's
we
the
have what's it called? Associations like the Care for Girls with Period that Deborah is the chapter head of. Deborah from like the previous episode, and they do things like that. They go from like school to school, and they just provide like pads and all of those other things that women might need. So we could have like more of those in like different regions. I feel like we honestly solve it properly. So please, if you are listening, if you are looking, if you're looking for a way to apply yourself in society, a way to give back. Buy people pads.
That's it.
Buy people
Give away the
pads.
funds,
Honestly,
Back then in uni, I know that a lot of girls, if they could take out the cost of buying cards for everyone, they'll be very happy. Because first it means an extra meal. Okay. When your father is not thank your lack. I'm sure you get what I mean. It means an extra meal, it means extra flexing money. You just have something in your pocket. But then you are taking that out of your pocket money. How much is left to eat? And if you are the kind that have very serious flow, that's a serious problem.
yeah.
Let's go to our chronicles.
Yes. So for me, from last Tuesdays, my menstruation comes like every other day of my life with no pain, no reaction whatsoever, except for little nipple swellings. Aside from that, I'm always good to go whenever I'm menstruating.
Oh Lord, my father.
Living the life.
Please. What am I?
Hey,
Should I change my name to me?
Another person says, I'm known for bragging over never having crazy menstrual pain. My very first menstruation came during the holidays, so I was home. Since then, Since then, it has never pulled a surprise stunt on me, and I hope it continues that way.
Wow.
People are living the life.
Oh
My God. People are living life just freestyling this,
I know.
And then there are people that are rolling on the ground, fainting.
First period, I wasn't going to buy Christmas clothes.
Oh.
On the main road, I was 11. Crowns nearly crowns was decking me. My mom was like, what's wrong with you? I was paying this guy the best of me. What's this? I don't know my stomach. And like it depends. I've never felt like I'm pain before. It was like as if they were tearing my body apart. My mom was like, what's wrong with you? And the hospital was like, I'm just going to the hospital. I said, yes. So I go home and then I saw that it was.
And there are people that just.
I cried.
I don't think there's anybody that just no, I mean because they don't have cramps, it doesn't mean that you're probably very emotional or very angry. Or very anxious.
See, I would take your experience. No, I don't want to be in pain 3 days non-stop.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to do that. So give me the cravings. I'll take that.
Okay.
Then
The emotional drama.
The mood, it just means I won't go up much so that I don't.
You have to work. Yeah.
What?
I work from. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay. And part of the reasons I work from is because of the school.
Yeah.
Right. So see, Libamu, we'll still wish to be you. Alright, ladies, we have been talking period. I feel like we deserve some compensation for what we go through every month. And this is not me being biased. Whether you go through pain or not, you deserve free care products. You deserve period leave because we deserve some time on our own. And that's pretty much what there is to that. Pamela, thank you so much for coming. Aisha, thank you with your beautiful self. Look at black girls shining. Oh my goodness. I know. Alright guys, so see you in my next episode.
Yeah, bye guys.
Bye.